Like if you found the video valuable, Eleanor Green had always been careful. As the longtime librarian of Marlowe's small-town library, she prided herself on precision, cataloging every book, locking every cabinet, and never once misplacing her brass skeleton key. The key was old, older than the library itself, and had been passed down through generations of librarians. It was said to open not just the archives, but something else, though Eleanor never paid much attention to the local myths. One rainy Thursday evening, she performed her usual closing routine. Lights dimmed, windows checked, doors locked. She slipped the brass key into her pocket before cycling home. But when she reached her front door and reached for it, her pocket was empty. Her hands shook as she searched her coat. Nothing. The key was gone. Eleanor retraced her steps in the pouring rain, but the streets were slick and empty. She unlocked the library with her spare key the next morning and searched every corner. Still nothing. Yet when she entered the archives, she froze. The cabinets, locked with that missing skeleton key, stood open. Books and documents were scattered across the table, and on the center lay an envelope with her name scrawled in black ink. Inside was a note. The library remembers what you've forgotten. The key chooses when it wishes to be found. Eleanor's heart pounded. She had told no one about the missing key. Was this a prank? A cruel joke? That night, she stayed late, determined to catch whoever was behind it. The rain returned, drumming against the tall windows. Around midnight, she heard the faint clink of metal against wood. She hurried to the archives and found the skeleton key, resting neatly on the table where the envelope had been. But when she reached for it, the key slid away on its own, as though pulled by invisible hands, and slipped beneath a shelf. Her breath caught. Slowly, she bent down, peering into the dark space. There, carved into the wooden floor, was an inscription she had never noticed. Every lock has two faces. The key trembled in place, then sank into the carving as if the floor had swallowed it whole. In its place appeared a small brass door handle, attached to nothing, just resting on the floor. Eleanor touched it, and in an instant, the library shifted. The shelves grew taller, the air heavier, the lamps dimmer. She was no longer in her library, but a distorted mirror of it. Books whispered from the shelves, pages fluttering with voices that weren't hers. And at the end of the aisle stood a figure. A woman, dressed exactly like Eleanor, holding the brass skeleton key. Her double tilted her head and spoke in her voice, though it echoed strangely. You've kept order long enough. Now it's time to see the other side of the story. The double turned, unlocked a cabinet, and vanished inside. The door slammed shut, leaving only silence. Eleanor stood frozen, the handle still clutched in her hand. Then she realized, the mirrored library was waiting for her to choose. If she followed her double, she might uncover the truth of the disappearing key. But if she turned back, she might never see it again. The lights flickered. The brass handle grew warm in her palm. She took a deep breath and stepped forward. And as she did, the real library behind her dissolved into shadow. The disappearing key had finally opened its true door.